Libya has begun carrying out its threats against Switzerland over the arrest of Muammar Gaddafi's son in Geneva last week. It's banned shipments of oil to the Swiss. Mu'tasim Bilal Gaddafi and his pregnant wife were arrested on July the 15th at a hotel in Geneva after allegedly hitting two domestic employees. Switzerland gets much of its oil from Libya, imported through a company he runs.
There was absolutely no intention in this delicate matter to hurt the feelings of the Libyan people or from the family of the leader. I want to stress this.
Gaddafi Jr. spent 2 nights in a cell in Geneva, but was released on bail after being formally charged with maltreatment. The case has raised strong feelings in the North African oil state. A group of Gaddafi followers also want Libya to withdraw all money deposited in Swiss banks, a sum equal to €4 billion last year, according to figures from the Swiss National Bank.
Voting in Scotland is underway in a by-election which is being seen as a crucial test of Gordon Brown's leadership. The Glasgow East constituency has long been a solid Labour seat. But with heavy defeats in several recent elections, Labour's main rivals, the Scottish Nationalist Party, are hoping for an upset. In 2005, Labour recorded a majority of 13,000 over the SNP. The Labour Premier has seen his popularity slump since taking office 13 months ago. The Scottish Nationalists have criticised Brown for staying away during the campaign. With a tight result expected, voter enthusiasm is likely to play a key role in the outcome.
My husband is definitely, he's always been Labour in the past as well. He's definitely saying SNP. Myself, I'm still unsure. I think because I've always been Labour, all my family always has been, you always have that loyalty factor.
One of Europe's most deprived areas, unemployment and drug addiction in the Glasgow district far surpasses the national average.
If Angela Merkel's decision to overrule Barack Obama's speech-making plans caused any friction between the pair, there was no evidence of it on his arrival in Berlin. The German Chancellor opposed his plans to speak at the Brandenburg Gate on the grounds that that was a venue for presidents, not presidential hopefuls. Germany is the latest stop on the US Democratic candidate's tour aimed at boosting his foreign policy credentials ahead of November's presidential vote. This evening he'll address what's expected to be a large crowd at a city centre park. The Illinois senator will reportedly focus on transatlantic relations, and it seems he'll get an enthusiastic reception. Everybody likes him because he's so young and likeable. I think he'll be a favourite among young people. But this Berliner believes he's only concerned with boosting his domestic ratings.
I'm a high school teacher, and for the first time in my 30-some-odd years of teaching high school, I've seen the enthusiasm of young people for electing a new president.
The address will be Obama's only public speech of his week-long foreign trip.
Nuclear inspectors in France are studying a report into the country's 4th radiation leak in a fortnight. In the latest incident, around 100 workers at the Tricastin power station in southeastern France were contaminated with low-dose radiation during maintenance work. 19 nuclear power stations supply France with nearly 80% of its electricity. The country is more reliant on atomic power than any other nation in the world. Doctors say there's no risk to the health of the contaminated workers, but questions are being raised about the health of the French nuclear network. At the beginning of July, in a different part of the same Tricastin complex, 30 cubic meters of liquid containing uranium was spilled into a watercourse. That prompted the Environment Minister to order tests at all French nuclear power plants. Elsewhere last week, at the Saint-Alban-Saint-Maurice maintenance site, 15 workers were likely contaminated. And at a nuclear fuel factory at Romans-sur-Isère, inspectors found a cracked pipe which they believe might have been defective for years. The French Nuclear Safety Agency has pointed out that hundreds of low-grade incidents are recorded each year.